This is Acme with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Thursday, the 27th of November. Starting off with the FTSE 100, we've adjusted the price channel a bit. It looks as though I think the right parallel there is the February resistance line there. We had it previously at June, but this gives the channel a better angle. Top of the channel there towards 99.50. That's what we're looking for overall, while we're above the rising 50-day moving average 95.43. Obviously, we've absorbed the budget. And the RSI now above neutral 50 at 50, just under 54, so that's positive. We were looking for 97 to 97.50 initially, and that's what we got yesterday. Actually, we just managed to nudge over 9700, and really all that's left now is, I suppose, above previous broken neckline resistance 95.90, looking for 99.50 as a best case scenario target by the end of next month. The DAX is next, and here nice rebound towards the 50-day line. You can see that we were relaxed at and above the 200-day moving average yesterday, around 23,500, and quite simply, we're now looking for the top of the range record levels towards 24,800. Best case would be up to 26,000 plus by the end of next month. We get into a sort of Christmas rally spirit. Worst case would be the floor of that channel from April, 23,000. But at the moment, expecting this market to at least stay above the 200-day moving average. The Dow is next, and here you can see that it's a case of looking rather stronger than the other markets. Good push above a rising 50-day line there, 46,721. Looking at the top of the channel there, as high as 49,000 by the end of the year. And once again, I suppose the top of the channel could be regarded as being like that, rather than the way I've drawn it, but it's not really material. It just looks a bit better, perhaps. Upside value, while above that 50-day line, worst case is a test towards 45,700 is required one more time. But with the RSI now at 56, nearly 57, looks as though we're on our way. Cryptos are next, and slightly better for Bitcoin. At least we're on the right side of 91,000. Probably an end of day close through 93,000. The old April-May support could take us back towards looking for the initial November support there at 98 to 99,000. So a slightly better picture there for Bitcoin. We have bounced off oversold levels. We haven't been that oversold since back in February, and I suppose you could argue that after a little bit of a delay, that was the turning point for the market. So let's hope and see whether that will be history repeating itself on this situation. Moving along to the situation at Ethereum, and here you can see that we've got the market back above the old April support line there, so that was around 29.50, let's say, above that, looking for the 200-day moving average at 3,500 over the next couple of weeks. What will be interesting is if we get an extra kicker for this market, if we can break that resistance line there from back in July. It's been there for a long time, so looking for that to be broken to really get this market moving, and that's why I've gone for the 3,500 target there. Basically just the area of the 50 and 200-day moving averages. Worst case at the moment is a retest of, or a partial retest of November support, 26.22, but looks as though we have finally turned around. The situation at gold is next, and here you can see that still looking very chirpy after the double RSI 50 rebound that we've had in the last week or so, and support above a rising 50-day line now at 4,009. The view at this stage is that basically looking for a resistance line target there from last November as high as 4,600 by the end of the year, if we can get a decent break of the resistance line I've just drawn at around the 4160 level. So let's see if this market step up to the plate. Any dips towards that 50-day line currently regarded as buying opportunities. Moving on to the stocks, and ACG has managed to deliver a bit of M&A excitement. Nothing's gone through yet, but M&A excitement nonetheless. We've already seen the shares in a rising trend channel, but the announcement of a possible offer for Anglo is obviously significant for this company. Let's see if the shares can stay above the 50-day line there at £10.52. Not sure if we can get up to £14 if the deal is done, but let's see how we go on that. But the overall trend, as you can see, is up and has been up, and obviously ACG taking advantage of its market cap going up to 250 million. Anglo Asian is next, and we've already covered this previously with a rising trend channel. Market cap here 220, so I suppose it would be practically a deal of equals if it came through, which is interesting and quite nice. We had the old target here around £2.25, I suppose more accurately the top of the channel there from back in October up to £2.40, but it's obviously not a charting situation now, it's more of a fundamental situation, but at least we were looking for this in a rising trend channel. On to Ajax, which is delivering a decent move almost every day now. So top of the channel there, which was the initial target around 7.25 pence. And if we're lucky, and if I suppose Ajax is even luckier, we could head up to that May resistance line projection at 12 pence by the end of the year. Currently looking quite strong, and we can see those blue candles there, consecutive blue candles there, that shows that there's or suggests there's an extended accumulation in the stock, and we could start accelerating to the upside. Upside valid while we're above the recent broken resistance around 5 pence. Onto a stock that I don't look at very much, and I don't think anybody else does either, which is Anglesey. Here, just what's interesting here, and there's not much to go on really, but obviously a potential triple bottom there at 0.2 pence, but an uptrend line in the RSI window. So a bit of bullish divergence there, and that might suggest that the shares will have the energy to at least head up to the 50-day line there at 0.35, even if they fade again after that. Alkemy is next, and another stock which has been successfully trailblazed here on Zacks Traders Cafe. Here you can see that we've easily exceeded the previous target there, 363, and above that looking for up to 450, I suppose, now by the end of next month. Wonder what could do that, but the RSI profile here great as well. We had the bounce RSI 50 rebound, and then RSI 50 plus rebounds for November, so still looking very strong on Alkemy. On to Empire Metals, where there was, from memory, some recent director buying. We're just trying to break that resistance line there, pesky resistance line there from September. That's around 35 pence. Above that, looking for at least the 50-day line at 42 pence as an initial target. You can see the RSI's pushed above neutral 50 to stand at 51. We had a one-touch bounce off the 200-day line earlier this month, so that is a positive as well. In fact, you'd be hoping for rather more than 42 pence while we're above the 200-day line, currently at 27. On to a stock which gets even less coverage than Anglesey mining, and here it is with Focus Xplore here potentially bouncing with the bullish divergence off the low, so a bear trap rebound there and bullish divergence. So looking for around 0.042 as an initial target, even if that's the best we see. Ideally, we get up to 0.05 and fill that gap from last month. But the main thing here is we stay above and stay on the right side of 0.03. Not too many stocks to look at today, but Playtech is in the frame, I suppose, in the wake of the budget and everything else. Here we got what looks like quite a decent turnaround, top of that falling trend channel there, around 308, which would be a nice target for the end of next month. And we're looking for that while we're above yesterday's resistance around £2.60. RSI is pushed through neutral 50 as well for the first time in a couple of months, so that is also giving the situation a healthy look at the moment. Covered SolGold quite a few times, and covering it again, largely because it's hit the another target there. I think that's the third or fourth target, so the 26 pence target achieved, and the next level up will be 35 pence, which is a 2017 resistance line. So ideally at the moment we get up to 35 pence, perhaps as soon as the end of the year while we're above the low 20s, so say 22 pence on that, basically the middle zone of yesterday's range. A lot of people calling the smarter web down and out, or even over and out, but we have had a change today in terms of the technicals, bullish divergence there, so and a gap through a resistance line there from back in August. So maybe, just maybe, one can say that there'll be enough gas in the tank here to take the shares up towards the 50-day moving average at 69 pence, providing obviously the company doesn't dilute itself a little bit more to buy more Bitcoin. Finishing up with Valereum, which came up with a decent RNS earlier in the week and seems to be following on from that quite well. I thought it was a very, very good RNS. I don't think anybody else really took much notice, but US listing, etc., very exciting, and funding as well. 14 pence, the logical place, well, the logical place according to the technicals, for the shares to go over the next 2 to 4 weeks, maybe even sooner, especially while we're above the old initial November resistance at 9.5 pence. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.